If all of our commissioners are ready to convene, we'll go ahead and call this meeting of our Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission to order on December 11th, 2025 at 10:03 a.m. Thank all of you for attending today. We've got most of our folks here in person. That was the intent for today. We've got a few online, but before we have the call of the roll call for attendance, I'm going to ask Miss Taylor Hatchett if she'll give her invocation. So, Taylor.
Let's pray. Dear God, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Thank you for the opportunity to gather together. Thank you for this Christmas season and the chance that we have to remember and celebrate the coming of our Savior. I thank you for the hope of eternity that his sacrifice offers to each of us, dear God. I pray that you will meet with us today. I pray for discernment and wisdom and guidance, and I pray that you will find in each of us listening and attentive heart. Thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. Taylor was running kind of a little bit late today because traffic on I-65 was a quag. Imagine that. But thank you, Taylor, for making every effort to get here on time. Let's go ahead and move. I'll ask our Executive Director, Mr. John McMillan, to have a roll call. So, John.
Chairman Vaughn.
Here.
Dr. Blakemore.
Present.
Dr. Saliski.
Present.
Mr. Gamble.
Here.
Dr. Martin.
Present. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Jensen.
Here.
Ms. Skelton. Judge Price.
Here.
Ms. Hatchett.
Here.
Mr. Harwell.
Present.
Dr. Barnes. Dr. Harvey. Dr. Harvey is on.
Dr. Harvey's here.
Mr. Robinson.
Present.
Have a solid quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Moving on to our minutes from our October meeting. Hope all of you have had a chance to look over those minutes from October. Cindy Wright sent those out November the 26th. So if you've had a chance to look those over and you're pleased with what you've seen, we'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes from October 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Blakemore. Is there a second?
that.
Second.
Dr. Saliski on the second. Thank you. Are there any additions or changes to the minutes? Hearing none, we'll move forward with a roll call vote. So, John?
Chairman Vaughn.
Yes.
Dr. Blakemore.
Yes.
Dr. Saliski.
Yes.
Mr. Gamble.
Yes.
Dr. Martin.
Yes.
Dr. Jensen.
Yes.
Ms. Skelton. Judge Price.
Yes.
Ms. Hatchett.
Yes.
Mr. Harwell.
Yes.
Dr. Barnes. Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Lower the operating expenses there.
Unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Minutes are approved as presented. Thank you, John. Before we go into our decision items today, I'd just like to make mention that today does have the potential to be a monumental day for our commission, one we've been waiting for too long, I guess you would say. But anyway, we are here, and thank all of you for coming. Thank you, our guests, for showing up today in support of what we're trying to do. Before we begin discussing these decision items, I'd like to remind you we do have a recess built in today in case we have a elongated meeting. I don't think that will be necessary, but we do have one built in for lunchtime if we need to do that, depending on how long we take and whether we need to take a lunch break or not. So we'll move on to the first decision item, and it would be to consider an administrative law judge's recommended order and the exceptions or briefs for the final decision on the award or the denial of dispensary licenses. The first decision item that we'll take up on the agenda is for the Commission to consider the administrative law judge's recommended order and the exceptions and briefs for the final decision on the award and the denial of dispensary licenses. Kind of give you some background information here. As you'll recall, the Commission, we delegated Executive Director, Mr. John McMillan, the authority to engage an administrative law judge for the contested case hearings on licensing matters. Judge Brookshire was engaged by Mr. McMillan for the hearings in the dispensary category. The consolidated contested case hearing for dispensary licenses was held on September the 8th and 9th, 2025, with 6 parties participating in the hearings. Judge Brookshire issued his recommended order on November the 13th of 2025. The recommended order includes a summary of the procedural history of the hearing, including identification of the parties participating in the hearing and whether they voluntarily withdrew or participated throughout the entirety of the proceedings. The parties to the consolidated hearing were provided a copy of the recommended order and given an opportunity to file exceptions or briefs in response to the order. Exceptions or briefs were filed by Yellowhammer Medical Dispensaries and LLC and Capital Medical and LLC. The Commission was provided a copy of the complete record in the dispensary license category on November 25th, 2025. As we consider this decision item today, I kind of remind our Commission members that the final decision made regarding this recommended order and the award and denial of dispensary licenses will result in a final order issued by the Commission, and the final decision and the final order must be supported by the record, which we have in front of us. As is our custom, we'll have a time to discuss any further items that you want pertaining to the motion if we have one. We'll allow discussion time, and then we'll have a roll call of the Commission if we indeed have a motion to vote on. So with that being understood, Justin, anything else you want to elaborate on? All right. Do we have a motion to consider such business?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Harwell. Would you state that motion?
Yes, I will. I move that we adopt the ALJ's recommended order in its entirety as a final order, awarding licenses to the 4 most suitable applicants as stated, and denying all other applicants referred to in the recommended order, with such order superseding and replacing all prior license, awarded and denied decisions involving such applicants. I make that in the form of a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Harwell. Y'all have heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second. We got Dr. Jensen. Mr. Gamble, was that you too?
Yes.
Thank you. Have another one on the Zoom call, so thank all of you for your seconds. As James so eloquently read our motion, which we needed to, y'all remember as Commission members to put on your microphone because so Ms. Bailey, our court reporter, can keep track of what we're talking about. So thank you, James, for the motion. We have multiple seconds. Is there any other discussion on this motion? I know y'all have had a mountain of paperwork provided to you over the last 10 days to study pertaining to this, and Justin and the legal team have provided us ample records to study. That's why we're at this juncture. So any discussion? If hearing none, we'll move forward with the roll call vote. So Mr. McMillan, have the vote.
Chairman Vaughn,
Yes.
Dr. Blakemore,
Yes.
Dr. Saliski,
Yes.
Mr. Gamble,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Dr. Jensen.
Yes.
Ms. Skelton is not here. Judge Price,
Yes.
Ms. Hatchett,
Yes.
Mr. Harwell,
Yes.
Dr. Barnes is not here. Dr. Harvey,
Yes.
unanimous vote, Mr. Chairman, of those voting.
Thank you, John. That's a pretty strong vote. Thank all of you for studying what you've looked over for the last couple of weeks. I know there's been a lot to consider, but I thank you for your diligence in regards to that. Like I said before, we've waited a long time to get to this point in time to where we can make a decision like this, and it is monumental. It's a milestone meeting for us, so I'm tickled that we can get this far. So with that motion passing, that will be the first motion. As Mr. James read, he moved that we accept the ALJ's recommended order in its entirety, and that's what we need to remember. A final order reflecting this action that we've just taken will be prepared, and we'll get it certified as being the action taken by the commission on this particular date. Our rules provide obligations for those applicants who were awarded a license and will subsequently be issued a license, and I'll ask Mr. Justin Aday to review those obligations with the commission. So, Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and those obligations under the rules are those 4 licenses that were awarded today. Those entities will be responsible for paying their license fee within the next 14 days, and then 14 days following that, so 28 days from today, those 4 licenses will issue by rule unless those licenses are, the issuance of any or all of those licenses is stayed by the commission or by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Thank you, Justin. As Justin mentioned, the licenses awarded today will issue 28 days from today's date unless the issuance of those licenses is stayed by the commission or the court. I'll ask Justin to review for us the status of the stay that was issued by the commission back in April of 2024, and then also July 11th of 2024. As well as the parameters on any new stay that the commission may wish to enter going forward. So, Justin, go ahead and explain some of that, please, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So as you recall, the commission issued a stay in April of 2024 on the issuance of the 4 licenses that were awarded by the commission in December of 2023, and then the commission further clarified that stay on July 11th of 2024, and the terms of that stay is that those licenses are awarded in December of 2023 would not issue until such time that a final order had been entered after contested case hearings in the dispensary category. And so with your action today, we're now at that juncture where the contested case hearing has been held, and you're preparing based on today's actions to enter a final order from that. And so by the terms of the 2024 stay as clarified, that stay or those stays are set to self-expire with the entry of that final order.
Thank you, Justin. Any of the commission members have a question for Justin?
Yeah, Justin, I read the recommended order. It looked like at least 3 of the 4 I think we can move forward with. It looked like Yellowhammer Dispensaries was maybe the one that could potentially be contested. Is that the case?
I think that the record would support that that there were instances in the record where 3 of the 4 were not contested or challenged, and then you have exceptions that were filed by a couple of the parties, and so that 4th license appeared to be, from the record, the one in dispute. That, yes, sir.
So it appears that based on the record, GP6, RJK, and CCS definitely looks like, based on the record, we could probably move forward with today.
I think that's a reasonable reading of the record, yes, sir.
Okay. So if that's the case, can I go ahead and move forward with the motion?
Absolutely, Dr. Blakemore, go ahead.
So based on the recommended order and the record to this date, I'd like to make a motion to stay the issuance of the license to Yellowhammer Dispensaries for 45 days.
Thank you, Dr. Blakemore. All of our commission members understand what Dr. Blakemore has presented as a motion. Any questions? Is there a second?
Oh, wait, why 45 days? Not 60 or 30 or?
We think that at this point in time, 45 days is sufficient.
Okay.
For capital to come back with whatever questions they have and appeals.
Okay.
An attempt at an appeal. So that right, Sam?
Based on the record as I read it, the reason why I see it that way is because I believe it starts a clock today. So 28 days from today, I think the other 3 applicants can have a license in hand. So based on my understanding, January 8th, if everybody pays their fees, January 8th would be the day that GP6, RJK, and CCS can have a license in hand. So we can move forward with getting medicine to these folks that really need their medicine. So that's just how I read it, Eric.
Thank you, Dr. Blakemore. Is that sufficient, Dr. Jensen? Any other questions about the motion? I need a second.
Second.
Was that James?
Dwight.
Dwight, I'm sorry, Dwight. Thank you, Mr. Gamble. Any other discussion or questions pertaining to it? Mr. Dwight Gamble made the motion, Ms. Bailey. Motion, Dr. Blakemore, a second from Mr. Gamble, that we impose a stay on Yellowhammer for 45 days, 45-day window.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Justin.
if I could just add, I want to check the date on 45 days.
This will coincide with probably when we have another commission meeting, so we need to, and thought about that, Sam, so we'll try to coincide that.
So based on my calculation, the 45th day from today is Sunday, February the 1st.
Okay.
I'd prefer we not meet on Sunday. So I don't know if you care to revise that motion,
Yeah.
make it a date certain of
46?
40 or no less than 45, or set it on February 2nd to be reassessed at a meeting on February 2nd, and we can notice a meeting for that day.
Yeah, so can I revise that motion?
Yes, you can amend the motion, Dr. Blakemore.
Let me amend the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. I calculated it wrong. 1, 2,
Gotta have
3,
a-
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. 25th of January would be 45 days. Is that right? Will, you calculate days good.
We're going to find us a general counsel that can count, Justin.
1, 2,
So you can make it the 25th of January. That was
5,
that was my mom's
Okay,
birthday.
Sunday, January 25th
It's a Sunday.
is the 45th day, so we would need to push it to January 26th.
January
at the
26th?
earliest,
Okay.
To reconsider that stay at that time, and we can notice a meeting for January 26th if that's the pleasure of the commission within our 30-day notice requirements.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to amend my motion.
Okay, we got it. Do I have a second for the amendment?
Second.
Who's that,
Mr.
Dwight?
Gamble. Dwight Gamble.
Thank you, Mr. Gamble. Okay,
Clarity on what he's amending it as.
well, the amendment is moving it to, is it 46 days?
So the
The date itself is January the
So the stay would be in effect until at the earliest January 26th, and will be reconsidered at that date. Is that
Yes, sir.
a good
You can do
understanding?
that.
Okay, I just want to make sure the record's clear on that.
Why don't we just go with the date, January 26th?
Yes, sir.
Don't say
All right.
45.
You have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Second? I guess we need to vote on
Do we
it.
need to have a vote
Yep,
to amend it?
No, we will go with the amendment first, vote on the amended motion, which is 46 days, January 26th. So, Mr. McMillan, proceed with the roll call vote for the amended motion.
Chairman Vaughn,
Yes?
Dr. Blakemore,
Yes.
Dr. Saliski,
Yes.
Mr. Gamble,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Dr. Jensen,
Yes.
Judge Price, Ms. Hatchett,
Yes.
Mr. Harwell,
Yes.
Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Unanimous of those voting, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Motion passes. Now we will vote on the motion at hand, which is, as Dr. Blakemore stated a while ago, is to impose a stay on Yellowhammer for that date that we mentioned, January to 26th. Is that right, Justin? Imposing a stay to January 26th.
Was that not the last vote?
No, that was the amended motion.
Oh, okay.
To change the date. So the motion here is that we're imposing the stay. So we had a motion and a second, so we'll proceed with the roll call vote. Mr. McMillan?
Okay, Chairman Vaughn,
Yes.
Dr. Blakemore,
Yes.
Dr. Saliski,
Yes.
Mr. Gamble,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Dr. Jensen,
Yes.
Judge Price, Ms. Hatchett,
Yes.
Mr. Harwell,
Yes.
Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Unanimous vote of those voting, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Thank all of you for your vote. As we mentioned earlier, today is what we've just done is a milestone for us. So don't let that get lost on any of us. And I look at Miss Amanda here today, and she's been so fervent for supporting us and all that we've done for years, not just a little bit, but for a long time, and friends of hers as well. So thank you, Amanda, for continuing today. Any commission members have anything you want to say in regards to what we've just done, what we've passed as far as these major motions? Well, if not, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for persevering and withstanding all the challenges and frustrations and hiccups that we've endured for the last couple of years in particular. But you have stayed the course, and it's really gotten us to this point because you've had a lot of integrity staying the course. So thank all of you for doing so. Our staff has been stretched pretty thin here lately. We've got about 4 cultivators who are in the process of growing, and they have a product staged and ready. So we're on the cusp of getting that product to the finish line. But what I mentioned, our staff being stretched pretty thin, we've got a skeleton crew, and they're acting as inspectors and investigators and auditors and compliance issues and all that. So they've been traveling the state looking at these folks who are already moving forward with growing and putting this product up in a freezer, more or less, waiting to stage it for further processing and a final product. So staff members, thank all of you, Justin and John and Daniel. Got Miss Brandy Hathcock back here. Brandy has done a magnificent job of managing our finances. That's our accountant. She's not had much revenue to work with, but thank you, Brandy, for juggling what you have juggled thus far, and we appreciate all the work you've done keeping our commission financially sound. Also, Mr. Scott Absher, he is our compliance director. He's about to look at hiring some more staff, so that'll be certainly necessary for what we've got right around the corner. So, Scott, good luck with hiring good people. And also Cindy Wright over in her office. She's done a great job of managing all of our emails and the things that she keeps us up to date on. So, Cindy, we do appreciate you so much. Old business and new business items. I'm going to let Justin talk about something, a variance and a potential rule change regarding the requirements for a transport or transport for testing samples by the state testing laboratory. So, Justin, expound on that a little bit.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. You may recall that the state testing laboratory, under the statute, the state testing laboratory may operate without using a secure transporter. And our rules were drafted to acknowledge that statutory provision. And so state testing lab licensees are able to transport test samples from a licensee's facility to their testing lab. Those samples that and the state testing lab has to go and collect those test samples, whether they transport them themselves or use a secure transporter. And if the state testing lab transports test samples themselves that they go and collect, they have to comply with all of the same requirements of a secure transporter. So in effect, they kind of have to, be double licensed as both a testing lab and a secure transporter in the instance where they're transporting samples themselves. The only exception in the rules to the requirement that they comply with all the provisions of a state testing lab is that they do not have to have 2 employees on the vehicle at all times. A secure transporter has to have at least two employees, the driver plus one other. A state testing lab that's transporting samples can have just the driver. And the state testing lab, Green Health Laboratories, since they've been working toward, operations, one thing that they brought up was the ability to have some of those secure transporter requirements relaxed as it relates to testing labs transporting test samples. And these test samples are small. By rule, they have to be at least 10 grams and can be no more than 30 grams. So what they would be transporting is very small, and essentially what they've asked for is relaxing the rules and ultimately working toward a rule change that would allow them to secure the product in the vehicle, not accessible by the driver, and transport it to their lab, but not go through some of the outfitting of a large van with a cage inside the van and those types of things based on the small amount of sample product that they would be transporting. They requested a temporary variance to allow that for 6 months, and by rule, temporary variances are decided initially by the staff. The staff granted that variance in part and denied it in part. We granted them variance to some very specific provisions in the secure transporter rules, but denied them operating essentially as they had proposed to us. So we didn't go as far as they asked for based on what we felt was reasonable and justified under the variance rules given the circumstances of what they were asking. That temporary variance, it will be effective for 6 months, which is the maximum amount of time under the rules that we can grant a temporary variance, and we are working on, for your review at hopefully the next meeting, a proposed rule change that will be consistent with that variance, giving those testing labs who are transporting test samples, and that's all they're authorized to transport. They can't transport harvest material or production batches, just test samples. So we'll have a rule change, giving them some slight flexibility from the transporter rules when they are engaged in transporting test samples. And so we will get that out to you in plenty enough time to review it. And we're looking also at some other potential rule changes regarding ownership changes and creating some clarity with some of the provisions that we have and a couple of other cleanup rules. So I expect in time for the next meeting that we will have a set of proposed rule changes that will go through the Administrative Procedure Act rulemaking process ready for you to consider.
Anyone have any questions for Justin Aday?
I've got a quick question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the sample size is small, but how many samples would typically be in a transport?
That kind of depends. Right now, if you were to take, what's been harvested and then, harvest material as long as it's homogeneous, it could be that you're just taking one sample from a pretty large batch, and so they do have the ability to collect multiple samples at one time, and they will be securing, not just putting it in the trunk of the car. It will be a lockbox inside the trunk that will only be accessible once they get back to the lab, and those types of things. But they can do that in a less outfitted vehicle, so to speak, with those smaller sample sizes. They're not carrying bins of products to multiple locations.
Thank you, Ms. Hatchett. Yes, sir, Dr. Blakemore.
But based on everything that you have received information on, you're not concerned about any concerns about diversion?
No, because everything, everything will still be tracked through metric. There'll still be a manifest for the sample material that's traveling. It won't be accessible by the driver. And, obviously, just like in any other situation, if somebody hijacks the vehicle, then you have the potential, for diversion. Or, if the driver says, this is my opportunity to get away, with what I've got in the vehicle. I'm going to steal the vehicle and the product. I mean, those types of things. But
Yes, sir.
But
There's
the
such a small.
product not being secure and being more susceptible to diversion than other instances that we have in place. We don't see any potential for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Justin? Dr. Blakemore, you bring up some good questions, and Taylor, you as well. There's some bizarre things I'm sure we're probably going to hear down the road pertaining to what we're about to do. No other questions from commissioners? I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of kind of where we are. It won't take long. We have issued licenses to 9 cultivators, 4 processors, 4 transporters, 1 testing laboratory, and about to issue 4 dispensary licenses. So that's where we are. And also, as I mentioned, Scott Absher will be beginning to look at hiring new staff as far as auditors, inspectors, investigators to help with what he's trying to do and police what all we've got going on across the state. We'll also have the patient registry that's about to we'll be hiring an individual just to oversee the patient registry. That will be a big one. So that one, John, I imagine y'all will be moving pretty quick on that. Is that right? So we look forward to who that individual will be, and because they'll have a lot on them to make sure they get all that accurate. A lot of medical background probably be required from this patient registry individual. And certainly we've got to get our physicians certified quickly. So that all those things are being staged as we talk right now, and we'll see how the wintertime goes, and hopefully a lot of these things will fall into place right quick. A lot of expenditures are probably about to take place. So with that in mind, I want to make mention we did have a request for to consider a license reduction again. We did last year, and we got a request in yesterday from some of our cultivators seeking some relief on the licensing fee because they don't have any income coming in. We all understand that. So we just got it yesterday. So it's kind of an item that we didn't have on the agenda, really weren't prepared to discuss. Does anyone have any questions regarding that?
Mr. Chairman,
Sir, Dr. Blakemore.
when would they have to pay the renewal fee? Is it February?
Go ahead, Justin.
Dr. Blakemore, by rule, they have to submit their renewal application by the expiration date on their current license, which for the group, the biggest part of the group, that will be December 29th is the expiration date. And so in order for their application to be timely and not incur any late fees in addition to the licensing fee, they've got to get the application in by December 29th. And then if they do that, then by rule, they have up to 60 days after the license expiration date to pay the license fee. And it's whatever the fee is at the time they submit their renewal application. So December 29th plus 60 days is when would be the final due date on the invoice for the license fee. And that process was explained in the renewal notices that we're required to send 60 days prior to the expiration date, which we sent in late October, complying with that notice requirement.
So I mean, like, I'm doing some rough math here. They send in their application. They wouldn't have to pay their fee probably till the 28th or March 1st. But then dispensaries would.
I'm not good at calculating dates, so I'll defer to you on that.
But then dispensaries would probably have a license in hand by January 8th. At least three of the dispensaries would have a license in hand by January 8th. So, based on everything from the recommended order from the ALJ, I'm sure these dispensaries are actually going to be able to start at least within a week from January 8th, week or two. So that means people should be getting money, right? Probably not a lot of money initially, but.
I don't know, Dr. Blakemore, how long it will take for that turnaround, because we're talking about tax dollars being generated off our product and being collected. Of course, sometimes it takes a while for that to come through the system. But we should be seeing revenue, I would say, by springtime, somewhere at the latest. So, and also remember that the fees we're talking about now are for this next year. That's what we're requesting, the fees to be paid for 2026.
Chairman Vaughn, Dr. Sliski behind you.
Yes, sir, Dr. Saliski.
Is there a way that we could look at that request and maybe discuss that before the next meeting or before the expiration date to at least look at it reasonably, seeing how it just came today or yesterday?
We don't, I mean, we have to give 30 days notice of a meeting where you're going to conduct any business, and we don't have anything noticed between now and the end of December and can't give 30 days notice. So there wouldn't be another opportunity before those applications are due to consider this. And
So earlier meeting, we reduced the fees for some.
Last year, we reduced it $10,000 per license.
with 25%. It was a 25% reduction effective for one cycle. So then it reverted back to the original fee for, that point forward.
Kind of giving you more detail of the 18 licensees that we have. I think about 6 of them have requested the relief. If we did so, it would be for all of them, not in part. So, but we just got the notice yesterday of the request. So I think we all understand their pain and what they're dealing with, but at the same time, we've got some major expenses. I just mentioned a lot of them that are about to be upon us. And the legislature is looking at, they appropriate money for our agency to function with, and so we want to be good stewards of that. And they are also watching how we collect or forgive certain license fees. So we have to be aware of all that. Any other questions? Y'all got good questions today. And we're not going to have to recess for lunch either. Any other items to bring before the commission today? If none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I give you a motion to adjourn, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Blakemore. I have a motion from Dr. Sam Blakemore to adjourn.
Second.
Second from Dr. Eric Jensen. Thank all of you once again for attending today, and it is a milestone day for us, so just to keep that in mind and what's before us. We'll probably have a lot going on the next few meetings, so thank you so much for your diligence and your commitment to what we've done thus far. Maybe we can start plowing new ground. That's my thought. Okay, Mr. McMillan, go ahead and have the roll call to.
Well, I was just going to say, we will be in touch with you since we ended up setting that meeting for January 26th. We may not need the January 8th meeting. We may not need to double up with meetings in January, but we'll be in touch about whether that 8th meeting is being canceled for that meeting on the 26th.
I think on your agenda, it does state, and what you got in the email, that our next meeting was scheduled for January the 8th at 1 p.m., probably a Zoom meeting, but we can postpone that one to the January 26th and have more to discuss at that point. But staff will take care of us between then and there, and we'll know what we have to take on. Mr. McMillan, proceed with the roll call vote to adjourn.
Chairman Vaughn,
Yes.
Dr. Blakemore,
Yes.
Dr. Saliski,
Yes.
Mr. Gamble,
Yes.
Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Dr. Jensen,
Yes.
Judge Price, Ms. Hatchett,
Yes.
Mr. Harwell,
Yes.
Dr. Harvey.
Yes.
Unanimous vote of those voting, Mr.
Motion passes to adjourn. Thank all of you for attending today. We're adjourned at 10:42 a.m. Thank all of you.
Good job.